My niece was just asking me some about what's changed. Well, the hair color, the volume of hair, the suit size. Believe it or not, and for many of you, well, I don't know about many of you have been here through this whole journey. From 1989, when I first started running, the hair was darker, it was thicker, I was smaller, and we're still here. Because some of the things that haven't changed, I got here or committed myself to do this, and with your help, through God's guidance, because I haven't run any campaign without checking with the man upstairs, should I do this? And then I checked with the family, and here I am this morning checking with y'all. And that's how it's always going to be, and it has been in my life. You snuck in on me. God first, my family second, then y'all, and then I'm coming in fourth somewhere down the line. Because I was raised, that's how we're supposed to live this life. But some things haven't changed. Let's go back. The district has changed, but one thing that has changed, I've always had part of Spotsylvania County. The district geographically has gotten smaller, but numerically has gotten larger as the population has changed. The dynamics in Richmond have changed. When I first went in, I was part of a very small Republican minority where they had the governor's mansion, the Senate, and then the House. And I made the tactical error of winning that year before they did redistricting the next year, and found myself not living in my previous district. Whereupon, for those who've been with me, we had a house in Hollybrook for 12 years, and I lived there, split between two houses. Times changed, the majority has changed, the district changed, and now we're back. Guess what, folks? As of 2 weeks ago, I wasn't living in my new district. But as of 2 weeks ago, now I do. You can find me sometimes, because I've got two residences, but my primary is 5124 Orrock Road. And last I checked, if you have a road named after you, that probably means you're living in that district. Just saying. I'm renting property from my nephew, and we're fixing it up, and that's where it's going to be my secondary residence. So that puts me back in the 66. For those, I am running as the incumbent because, as I said, I've represented part of Spotsylvania for all, can you believe it, 34 sessions this year. And through your support and God's grace and my family's endurance, I've made it that long. But we're here this morning kicking things off, talking with God, talking with the family, and now talking with y'all. We're going to put ourselves back into the fray again. Running as the incumbent, according to VPAP. I've moved, it's legit, so I can claim that. The new district is less of Spotsylvania that I currently represent, but a lot more geography of Spotsylvania that I didn't represent until you go back to 1989. Because I now pick up Berkeley and Partlow. Back in 89, I represented about 80% of Caroline. I'll be representing half of it, but not the precinct where my old house was. But I pick up my sister, can finally vote for me or against me. I'm not going to ask her which. Since she hadn't been able to do since 1989, because she lives over near Charlesburg. Y'all have been there with me through the political fray. We're looking at an interesting session coming up. It's an election year. We know we have the majority in the House. We know we don't have it in the Senate. Being an election year may change the dynamics on certain bills a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's an election year. And it all is going to matter for the Commonwealth of Virginia this coming November is the direction we're going to take for the next 2 to 4 years. And so that's why you're coming out this morning. It's so important to me. I so much appreciate your presence. And there's something else I do want to mention that has not changed. 1989, I ran on the pledge and promise of being open, of being honest, and being accessible. I hope in your minds I've lived up to that pledge through all these years, and that is the pledge I continue to make. My dear friend Matt over here made the comment as we were discussing casually too about changes in politics, and Matt said, one of the constants is I haven't changed. When I was first elected, Rob Hedel interviewed me because I had run as Bobby. And Dave Rose, who was back with me in those days, can tell you I had political counsel back then. I couldn't run as Bobby Orrock. It had to be Robert. because Bobby sounded too immature. And the article with Rob Hedelt, he questioned that as well. And I said to Rob, I said, when I started running, I was Bobby. My mama has always called me Bobby. And so I intend to be Bobby for the rest of my life, no matter what accolades, titles others may wish to apply to me. I spoke to the freshman entering House of Delegates class last year, and one of the things I reminded them, I congratulated them, but I said, do understand this, you are but one election away from a new title. I said, and that title is has been. So whenever you get above who you are, you're going to be in for a fall. That you can't stay true to your convictions, true to yourself, unless you remain yourself. God bless each and every one of y'all. Thank you so much for coming out.